Hello and welcome to Habitat's home on West Sharp Avenue here in Spokane. I'm joined by Michelle Girardot, of course, and we're going to be doing a tour of the home in West Central. This one right behind us. We're also going to show you, this is a rehabilitated home.
That's right.
We're also going to show you some new construction in Airway Heights, but we want to go through this one first.
Yeah, this is a really exciting partnership and pilot program that Habitat for Humanity launched a couple years ago. And before we go inside and see how beautiful this home is, it's important to recall all of the many donors, volunteers, and partnerships that have made this even a reality. And I don't know if we're going to have before and after shots on this, but this home was actually moved onto this foundation. And I mean, it could have been a demo job. And because of this neighborhood, the West Central neighborhood, the volunteers and the donors, and this incredible partnership with the City of Spokane, we were able to essentially revitalize and bring new life into this home, the home right next to us, and many other homes in this neighborhood. So these homes will become permanent, affordable home ownership stock for these families. So it's really exciting.
Let's check it out. I love this room. It's amazing. It's got the high ceilings. It's got the perfect window here. Who's responsible for doing all this work?
It's not just one who helped with all of this effort. We're really blessed. We're able to tap into a variety of different volunteer experiences. So we've got everybody who maybe doesn't have the experience, who wants to learn how to put up drywall, to more seasoned veterans who have done this for their entire careers and want the opportunity to give back a little bit. We really tap into apprenticeship programs too. So anywhere from the AGC, their apprenticeship programs have been incredibly instrumental in all of our efforts. And it really helps us to not only provide some job training, but also to reduce the cost of the home. And we sell the homes at the cost to build for the families.
It's a great partnership.
Absolutely, yeah, we're really lucky.
Okay, love this room.
Sure.
Go from the front room kind of into another expansive living space here.
Right.
A little bit different than new construction because rehabilitation. Why this specific area? Why this home here?
Well, I think really, as we look over even the last 5 years, we've seen a lot of homes in the Spokane community that have been either abandoned or left vacant. And the amount of cost that not only puts on the neighbors that are surrounding those homes, but also on our public resources. Really saying, okay, here's an opportunity. If we are able to cultivate a group of partners to make this a reality and turn these homes into actual safe, decent, affordable places to live, not only will that increase the property values around it, while also providing a family with the opportunity to access homeownership, but it also allows the community to have some ownership altogether, reduce gentrification, reduce displacement, and families that are living in West Central, maybe they don't want to move out of this neighborhood. Yeah. Maybe their entire, maybe generations and generations of their family members have been in this community. And so if we're able to, carve out a few bits and pieces here and there for homes to stay affordable for the long term, families will have the opportunity to stay within the community that they love, while also, having the opportunity to build an asset. It's not only transformative for the partner family that is purchasing these homes, but it's transformative for, blocks. And that's what we've been doing. We've been doing really block by block revitalization for the West Central neighborhood.
Michelle, we know it's really hard to find affordable housing here in Spokane.
That's right.
How do you prepare future homeowners to really make that step?
Well, we know that the lack of affordable housing stock, especially for homeownership options, is really non-existent in Spokane. And one key indicator that we've seen in the last 18 months, especially over the pandemic, is that we've seen a 300% increase in qualified home buyers.
That's huge.
It's astronomical. I mean, we've never had that many individuals and families qualify for a partnership, let alone apply for this partnership. And as you know, it's not an overnight process.
Oh, it takes a while.
At minimum, it's a year to a year and a half before you receive the keys and close on your home. And in that time frame, families earn not only their sweat equity, so that's something that we use for families to not only learn how to build their homes and their neighbors' homes, learn how to maintain their homes.
Important.
But also credit building, workshops, budgeting, learning all the ins and outs of how do you buy homeowners insurance?
Right.
How do you shop around for that? And how do you become a good neighbor? What is code enforcement? So all of these little intricacies that many of us that are homeowners, we probably took for granted and didn't quite really wholeheartedly understand.
Or we kind of learned from our parents who
Right,
own their own home.
absolutely. And many of our partner families, their parents didn't own a home before them. So as we think about that cycle of building generational wealth, and home ownership in America is still really a staple in how you get there. It's an incredible transformative experience, so much so that when families join the program, it's essentially a credit building boot camp where by the time they finish their partnership requirements and are ready to close on their home, their credit score will have jumped at minimum 100 points.
That's fantastic.
I mean, think about what else they can qualify for. If you have an affordable mortgage, I could qualify for, a newer model car. So, my car's not breaking down all the time. Or, I might be able to, qualify for, taking some extra college courses or, even again, that rainy day fund of, oh gosh, I've got a sick kiddo, I need to take some time off of work, how am I going to be able to make ends meet? This is one of the ways that we create that stability.
Great.
And as you can see, look at all these bedrooms.
These are great.
Yeah.
Love the shape of these. Come up to that.
Well, and that's that old home feel, right? I mean, they all have their own kind of characteristics that I really love about Spokane homes in general.
Good
They're just
personality.
stunning. Yeah. And this one I love. Just that sun is just beaming in and perfect.
So this house went from being on a lot that was being turned into a car wash.
Correct.
On a trailer. Didn't know what to do with it. Now it's here, ready for a family. It's amazing. What does Habitat need now to keep that sort of work continuing?
Well, it's really like two paths that we need to see align. So one is ensuring that the cost to build or rehabilitate a home like this will remain affordable, because Habitat is a home ownership program and the family will have to buy that home. But on the family's path, we need to ensure that they have access to credit like down payment assistance, subsidies, in order to help buy down the overall cost of what their mortgage will be, so their mortgage payments every month will be affordable. So we need both of those paths to somehow run parallel. And that's where we, not only rely on volunteers and, in-kind donors to help us keep the material and the labor costs down, but also we rely so heavily on, the voices of our constituents and our families and volunteers in advocating for these kinds of activities for families to just get their foot in the door,
Right.
essentially, to homeownership. So activities like, 1590 that passed, late last year, that's a fund that will go towards more affordable housing and homeownership in filling the gaps. So for the family, the gap is, I need access to cash and capital, and a down payment assistance program helps them achieve that. Well, on the building side, we need access to cash and capital so we can continue to build and generate that kind of impact. It's not just West Central that is in need, obviously.
Right.
We are also working in Northeast Spokane, in East Central, and seeing the life of these rehabilitated homes come back, even just in hearing a hammer.
Right.
It's incredible. We just need to make sure that, families, and our list is very long, as you know, can access those kinds of programs. So that we can make sure that they find the strength and stability in homeownership for themselves, for their kids, and generations to come.
Love the big red bow. Now let's go check out the new construction in Airway Heights.
Absolutely. But before we jump in and head on over there, one thing I want to make sure that everyone knows is the incredible partnership that we've also had with Banner Bank. We work with a handful of what we call preferred partner lenders, and Banner Bank has been really instrumental in getting families across that finish line and qualifying for their first mortgage. So that's one of the key ways that we're able to ensure that families look different for everyone, that families and individuals can really live in a place of belonging and in really vibrant communities and neighborhoods. This kind of partnership also allows us to focus on not just today, but the future.
Right.
There might be, seniors that need, additional accessibility components added to their homes. And Habitat's able to have that kind of flexibility to make sure that they're in it for as long as they need to.
Right. Great.
Awesome. Well, let's go.
Let's do it. Welcome to Highland Village. This is a community for families living in the accident prevention zone from Fairchild Air Force Base. The effort to provide safe, affordable, and healthy living for families has been going on here for about 10 years. So far, we've built 4 homes and construction continues.
That's right, Aaron. We've got 4 homes that are complete, and this is an incredible collaboration with a number of partners in the Spokane community, including Habitat for Humanity, Greenstone, the City of Airway Heights, Spokane County, Fairchild, and Community Frameworks. As you said, we've got 4 homes that are complete. We've got another 4 homes that'll be complete within the next couple weeks.
Awesome.
And this is part of our first phase. And as you said, it's been a long process, 10 years. Should we go take a look?
So Michelle, this project is fairly new. How'd you pull this off during the pandemic?
Well, it's actually been about 10 years in the making, and it's taken a lot of collaboration. As you can imagine, at the start of the pandemic, everything slowed down. But the concerns and the quality of life of the families that we serve just continue to grow exponentially. So Habitat relies so heavily on volunteer labor, which was essentially non-existent throughout the pandemic. But in being able to lean in on those relationships like Greenstone to provide a lot of the contracting work to make these homes a reality, that's really been our silver lining in all of this, is being able to share the stories of the families that we serve while also bringing other partners along so they can see it firsthand and help to give back.
Excellent. Michelle, this home feels really solid, even with stretching those donor dollars. You guys didn't cut any corners, and just from my experience on the board, I know how important it is for Habitat to build, efficient, well-constructed homes.
That's right. So when a family buys a Habitat home, they pay no more than 30% of their mortgage towards their Habitat home. And part of the cost savings of Habitat homes is the fact that we build to incredible measures to make sure that the homes are energy efficient.
Right.
That way, families can save those dollars so they can invest it in education or in a rainy day fund, or, like all of us, especially in the last, 18 months, life happens.
Yeah.
And so if you're able to start saving more than just, sometimes nothing at all.
Yeah.
It really is transformative for a family. And we believe that we have to approach each family in a holistic way. And so by being able to provide not only the energy efficiency, but we also build for the size of the family. So, for this home, this is a 4-bedroom home, and it's gonna fit a family that needs 4 bedrooms. And so each one of our Habitat homes really fits the needs of each one of those families, whether it be accessibility, just size, but it's also a healthy home. All of the products that are used in these homes are met by evergreen standards. So, we've seen families that have reduced headaches, less allergies, and just have an overall better feeling and well-being as they, have their safe, decent, affordable, and healthy home.
And quiet.
And quiet, absolutely. Yeah, actually you can hear a little bit of the whisper air filter that really helps to keep all of the air quality really up to par in the home.
Definitely important in Washington, especially during the summer.
No kidding. With the wildfire smoke, all of these homes are sealed, which helps with the energy efficiency, but also with that overall air quality. So you'll see each one of these, empty rooms these are going to be filled with kids studying, and hopefully, families able to find that refuge and that privacy that we all need. It's really wonderful that we can also bridge that some of the issues that we see with the current housing stock in Spokane, where families may not be able to even afford a home that fits the size of their family. So while they may be teasing each other, at least we could send them to
their own room.
Right?
You go to separate rooms, and these are empty right now. But you can imagine what it would look like with kids here, parents, who knows, upstairs. We're also talking about the Habitat store. You can get a lot of great stuff that people donate there. How has the pandemic affected the store?
I think that's a really good question, because when we saw so much of the world shutting down and people spending more time in their homes, we also saw this pretty incredible increase in not only donated product to our Habitat store, but also sales, because people wanted to work on their own homes.
Right.
And so the Habitat store has actually been doing phenomenally. We have been able to generate a lot of funding from the donations from the very philanthropic hearts of Spokane residents to help fund each one of these homes. So we estimate anywhere between $40,000 to $50,000 on each one of these homes just in store revenues.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
I have a couple of pieces of furniture from the Habitat store. I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah, it's there's always an incredible amount of treasures in there. I've seen a handful of staffers find these really cool retro chairs, and you just never know what you're going to find.
It's a treasure hunt.
Absolutely it is. And we want more of the treasure from our community. So, of course, the donation process is very simple. We offer free pickup. And of course, we always need more and more so we can do more of this.
The work continues.
Absolutely.
Cool. Should we go upstairs?
Yes. That's amazing! I cannot believe that they were able to get 4 bedrooms, and that just goes to the design of each one of these homes. Greenstone has really allowed Habitat to elevate in ways that we're able to, save costs, but also build something that's gonna really work for everybody.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Great use of space.
It's just really stunning. And some of the homes you'll notice, maybe you already have noticed, it looks like there may be a second story, but that's just one of the ways that Greenstone's been able to design these homes so they, have that bigger, better looking curb appeal while not, increasing a lot of costs. So a lot of our families if it's just an individual that's purchasing a Habitat home, they see that and they're just like, oh my goodness, this is so much bigger than I anticipated. When in reality, the square footage is, very modest.
Right. It makes that community kind of come together with different looks, different feels, but everyone has their kind of unique touch to it.
Absolutely. And that's one of the wonderful things about this program is that, each family also has the opportunity to add their own personal flair with, selections of, this is the color I want for my, my flooring. And again, we build simple, decent, and affordable homes. But just having the opportunity to make those choices is something that many of these families have never experienced, especially since, they've never been able to qualify for a conventional loan. And so just bringing them through this journey builds so much confidence and self-esteem. It's a really incredible thing to witness.
It's such a great house. I just can't wait for it to be filled with love, laughter, joy. And these homes are going to be purchased by people who are currently living in the APZ near Fairchild Air Force Base.
That's right. So the majority of them are going to be sold to families that are living in the APZ. And the reason why that is so crucial is because, part of this collaboration was everyone had a different priority and a different value, but at the end of it, we all agreed that the solution to many of the concerns that we all had was we need more safe, decent, and affordable housing. And these families are incredibly hardworking, but regardless of their circumstances, everyone deserves a safe place to call home. And so we're hoping to have anywhere between 50 and 60% of these homes sold to families within the APZ. And these families are meeting the same requirements as all of the other families. We've built over 370 Habitat homes, and we're, well on our way to 400. But like any of us, life happens, circumstances change, and the beauty of the Habitat partnership is that we prepare families to be successful home buyers. And then they're able to, earn some equity and have really, it's a personal savings account where they'll be able to have the strength, stability, and self-reliance for really anything in their lives.
It's a great community.
It's beautiful.
Or it will be very soon.
It's really beautiful. And we've been really quite blessed with all of the community support, not only here locally in Airway Heights, but Spokane County, and even in our Washington State partnerships with Commerce that help to make these homes a reality. Besides the generosity of obviously our incredible community partners, and then of course our amazing board members, none of this is possible without that donor support.
Right.
And one really crucial piece of the pandemic is that we saw all of these costs rise. And so that philanthropic spirit from each one of our donors is more critical now than ever before in order to make even the smallest dent in the affordable housing crisis. So we're really, really thankful, incredibly blessed, but we have so much more to do with this powerful work.